I just don't know that I can trust Ryland at all after that.
Hey Shelby Bells, it's Shelby. Welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for tuning in for another video. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name's Shelby. I'm the crazy cat lady of the drama community here on YouTube. I bring you the tea 7 days a week with the help of my investigative research team, Mr. and Miss Kitty. Miss Kitty is the brains around here and Mr. Kitty is the face, which sometimes means that he brings us a little bit of clickbait. It's easy to forgive him because he's so cute. So if you like cats and you like tea, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel down below. Don't forget that all Shelby Bells ring the bell.
Okay, let's get into this drama. So I was watching Peter Mott. You guys know, like, a lot of times I'm gonna be honest, at least 1 or 2 videos of mine throughout the week that are drama videos, and mind you, I put out 7, so I'm not like completely copying Peter Mon, but on everything. But I was watching Peter's video, and he was talking about a situation that happened on Ryland Adams' podcast, who is Shane Dawson's fiance. You guys know that. But he was talking about a situation where on one of their latest episodes of The Sip, the one that Ryland does with Lizzie Gordon, Shane was featured on that episode, and there was a little like bit that they talked about pertaining to a sponsorship that Ryland had at one point for like a therapy session or a therapist or whatever. And Shane basically called him out on not ever having a therapist. And Ryland like kind of like joked it off or whatever. And Shane was like, well, how can you recommend this to people who never use it? Whatever. Anyway, it's kind of a long thing. I came to know about it because of Peter, because I don't just like watch The Sip like that. You know, unless there's something major going on or like major news or something, I don't necessarily watch The Sip like that. Now, I did not finish the entire episode of The Sip of that, what this is about, but I did watch. Actually, did I? Actually, I think that I got at least most of the way through, because I watched the part I needed to for the video here at the house, and then I went downstairs to do my cardio yesterday, and I ended up watching a lot more of the episode. I'm not sure if I got all the way through it, but I did get through a bunch of it. But anyway, and I watched that part, and I have some thoughts on it too. So first, before we get into all that, I'm gonna roll you the clip. So roll it.
This would be a perfect segue for BetterHelp. Are they a sponsor?
They've never sponsored me before.
Oh.
And I could really use that discount code.
Wait, have they sponsored us?
Yes, they have. I think they have. No, Calm. The Calm app.
No. It's one of the therapies.
You don't know your sponsor.
We use Calm.
Oh my God.
That's not therapy.
Okay, wait, Chris. Hold that thought, because I have thoughts for you. But before I get to that, wait, can we say this or no?
What? I don't know. I can't read your mind.
Say it.
Years ago, you did a brand deal for it.
Oh, yeah, go for it. I don't know what you're talking
sure?
about. What is it?
So he did a brand deal for, this is a long time ago, for some therapy app or something. And he like showed me the video. He's like, tell me if any of this is boring. So I start watching the video, and it starts with the ad, and it's like, you know, this app is a therapy app and blah, blah, blah. And then it like, he says like, it changed my life. And he's like saying all these, like, it was the best thing I've ever done for myself. And I can't even imagine that. And I was like, what the, you don't have that app. You've never even been to therapy.
Dude, he does this to me all the time. I'm like, wow, so you really fuck with that? And he goes, oh, sorry.
But you took it out. I was like, you cannot say that.
No, I don't not use the products that we use, but sometimes I will oversell a little bit, and then that's when Lizzie will be like, what? And I'm like, oh, and you did the same to me.
But it's only
too.
because you trick me. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, I need that. That sounds great. And he likes it.
You
and he's
do
like,
need
I've
it.
never even smelled it. And I'm like, what? I just bought 10.
This is going to be a moment if you guys are dragging me in a bad way.
Oh, are we?
Yes, I can already envision what's going to happen as a result of this.
One of my favorite books on writing is by a woman named Anne Lamott, and it says, if people don't want you to talk about what they did, they shouldn't do it.
Well, if you
I'm
don't want
paraphrasing.
ads on this podcast, then you shouldn't be slandering
Ryland
the
loves
ads on our
every
podcast.
product we have ever
Loves therapy.
loves therapy.
Hey, no, I tried. I really did try, and I don't want to. I don't know.
No, you loved therapy when you did it.
I yes, for the time being, I was going through something like very specific, so
Right.
it helped for that. But then when I got into like regular life after the hurdle, I didn't really know where to start, and she didn't really have any help in prompting it. And Shane, his thing would be like, bring up And I'm like, bring up what? I don't know.
Well, okay, let me jump back into this chapter. Chris, I'm proud of you for trying to do therapy.
Thank you.
Let's try again.
Yeah, you can't just give up after your first try.
Well, no, I did. I mean, as you know, I had a therapist before that, an in-person therapist that I went to for a long time who was amazing. And by the way, I was going to say when you were saying that, I've been to therapists a lot in my life, and a lot of them were just very unhelpful until I found one that I clicked with that changed my life and, like, saved my life.
Right.
So I would, like, if the one you went to wasn't helping, I'd strongly encourage to, like, try to find one that clicks with you, because that's really important.
And I think that's the issue I have with a lot of aspects of my life. Like, I would love to find an editor too, but going through the process of finding that right editor seems worse than actually doing it.
It
Or
is.
like, I could do 7 scenarios like that in my life currently.
See, I totally get that, but I also think at the end of the day, when it comes to like mental health, you can get bogged down in the like, oh, but that's a nightmare. Starting the process is a nightmare, but it's like, it's always going to be a nightmare until you just fucking start it.
Yeah.
And then the second you start it, it's like unraveling
But
a knot. Like
therapy
eventually the knot's
specifically,
gone.
like you're unboxing so much, and then if it's not a fit, then it's starting over really does feel like a.
Well, okay, and I think this is what you started getting at. The reason I brought up therapy to you is because you are not like a typical damaged, mentally ill person, such as the rest of the people in this room. And
specifically Riley.
very
This
specifically.
bitch
Riley.
is sick and
Yes.
twisted.
She's so sweet and sleeping. Gosh, we should have lowered the angle. I'm not the
You're not
standard.
mentally ill. Sorry, when you said lower the angle, it like triggered me because it's my nightmare. No, so you don't have like a bunch of trauma and a bunch of past, like all that stuff, right? But you do have issues in the present day that you don't know are issues because nobody around you is telling you it's an issue. And then I come along and say, hey, I think this is an issue.
And how would I bring that up to my therapist if I don't know that it's an issue?
Exactly, which is what I'm telling you. So now your issue is, because we talked enough about mine. Your issue is you have a very big temper.
I do have a
You have a
temper.
lot of rage, and it's very fast. It comes out of nowhere. And yeah, you can't take any sort of criticism. You turn into a fight.
I think I've gotten better on the criticism. I think with criticism, I've gotten better.
And I don't know, you guys, I feel like with this situation, I'm kind of going to have to agree with Peter on this one. I feel like mental health and therapy and that kind of a thing, when you're sponsored by a company that pertains to dealing with anything like that, I feel like it's really important to make sure that whatever that company or whatever is providing to its customers or to its patients, if that's what you want to call it, is actually legit and good. Because when you're dealing with therapy and the mental health of of people, it's a really serious topic. And so I'm not gonna lie to you, when I watched that, so when I watched Peter's video, I was like, wow, that's like really cringe, but maybe he's just being a little dramatic because we are drama channels, like sometimes we have to amp it up for views. When I watched it back on the podcast, on Ryland's podcast, I have to say, I was really turned off by the whole situation. I really was turned off by Ryland kind of like trying to brush it off that something that he is promoting and being paid for to promote to his fans, that he has influence over his fans and his audience, right? Something that he's being paid to promote is something that he hasn't really tried and that he doesn't really stand or believe in, because he doesn't really talk up therapy and say it's like as beneficial as I believe it is to people on the podcast. He kind of like plays it off and says, like, you can just tell he's not really a big fan of it, I guess. But when you're being paid to promote a product, you should have at least tried the product or stand behind the product and all of that. And when you don't, in my opinion, you lose so much credibility to me, and I lose a lot of trust for you, a lot of trust that I have for you. And I think that this is one of the first times when there's like a influencer that's not a beauty influencer that I'm talking about in this kind of a light. And talking about in this way. Now, we know that like these beauty influencers would always, back in the day, they would always hype up these products because they're being paid for, they have affiliate codes or whatever, cough, cough, Morphe, cough, cough, with their crappy products, and people would promote them and all of that. This is not a beauty influencer. This is like a vlogger, a daily vlogger, if you will. And for him to do that about something that pertains to something so crucial and important as your mental health really rubs me the wrong way. I can tell you guys right now, I'm not sponsored by very many people, okay? And the opportunities just don't flow in for me as much as other like larger influencers. I think that's to be expected, right? But the 3 brands I can say off the top of my head that I have worked with, a couple times. So I've worked with Adam and Eve, and I know their products, honey, and I do recommend, okay? I've worked with Dossier perfumes, and with Dossier, I don't have them on me right here, right now, but, when I moved, I had like 3 empty bottles of different Dossier perfumes that I threw away before I moved. I was like, there's no use keeping it. There's like this tiny little bit left. It's like maybe 1 day's worth of wearing. I just throw it out. Like I've gone through several of those, and I have several of them, other ones that they've sent me that I'm making my ways through. Do I love every single scent they have? Absolutely not. But do I love every single thing that everybody produces? No. But I do enjoy quite a few of their fragrances by Dossier, and I've plugged them, and I really do enjoy them. I've worked with them several times. And then the other sponsor that I've worked with a few times is Ana Luisa Jewelry. And Ana Luisa Jewelry, I had never heard of them before I worked with them, but when they sent me their products, they were well made, they were of good quality, they're cute, and I felt like I believed in what they did. So I went ahead and took the sponsorship from them, and I've worked with them several times now too. And so I have never accepted a sponsorship from something that I did not believe in. And I don't know. I don't know that I ever will. Now, will it be tempting? Yeah, absolutely, it's tempting. I'm sure it would be tempting to be, offered something, and then, it's not something you stand for, believe in, or whatever. Like, actually, I'll give you an example. There was a brand that wanted me to promote their period underwear, okay, on my channel. And I declined that and they were willing to pay me. There's brands that reach out to me that want to do like gifts in exchange for promotion, and I don't do those. I feel like my value and my worth isn't as what I do here on YouTube. I feel like I put a lot of time and effort into what I do here on YouTube, and I'm not going to just accept a free mascara or something to promote it. I have plenty of mascara. I don't need that. I'm not going to accept just your whatever it is that you're trying to get me to sell. I'm not going to do that in exchange for promotion. I need to be compensated financially for it. And so there was a brand, they were actually willing to pay me, compensate me financially, but I'm not somebody who uses period underwear. I'm not interested in using period underwear. The thought of wearing period underwear kind of freaks me out. So I didn't accept that sponsorship, right? And I feel like if you're just looking at the number that the person's gonna pay you, and then you have that ability, and let's not forget, Ryland he is good on camera. He's a personality on camera, and he can turn on and turn off his camera presence, and he's basically, I guess in layman's terms, he's good at acting, right? And so it's very easy to turn it on and be like, and I love this product, you guys. This nutcracker has gotten me through so many dark times. When I tell you that this nutcracker is made of only the best high quality wood, and the nuts just break so easily in it, and it leaves such a little mess, and his hair is so easy to brush through, and he's just a really, really crucial part of my decor every holiday season. You can get on camera and do something like that with basically anything in the world, as long as you have the gift of gab. And I have the gift of gab, I'm not gonna lie. But when you use that in a way that is not something you believe in, it kind of feels like you're manipulating your subscribers in a way, right? And that is just something that I don't necessarily love, and I don't really agree with. And so it really kind of turned me off that Ryland was so lackadaisical about this whole thing. And he did say he knows this is gonna get him in trouble, whatever. And I'm not really saying this to cause a bunch of drama and get anyone in trouble or cancel them or whatever, but I feel like it just needs to be said that that's a really crappy thing to do to your audience. And that's just kind of how I feel about it. I feel like with Ryland, I don't know, you guys, I'm turned off right now. I'm really turned off, and it's gonna make me look at him a little differently, because I always thought kind of like he was like the voice of reason within the two of Shane and Ryland and everything, because we know that Shane like puts on a huge facade in front of the camera, but now I'm like, oh wow, does Ryland too? Are they one and the same? It doesn't mean that I don't find their content interesting. It doesn't mean that I don't find their content entertaining. It just means that I'm now, whenever they do sponsor something on Shane's podcast or Ryland's podcast, or within a video they do together on his vlog channel or on Shane's channel or whatever, that I am gonna look, you know, a little bit sideways at the situation and be like, do you really stand behind this product? Because we know that in the past you haven't stood behind the products that you're promoting for your sponsors. So it just made me think twice a little bit about that. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below what you think about Shane and Ryland and that whole drama with him not using the therapist help or whatever that he promoted in the past. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear from you. And that's going to be it for today's video, you guys. If you did enjoy it, make sure you give me a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel down below. Don't forget to ring the bell so you're notified of all my future videos when they do post. Remember that all Shelby bells ring the bell. And yeah, guys, if you enjoyed today's video, YouTube should be suggesting a couple more down here for you to choose from. So I'd love it if you did that. And aside from that, I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.